Dr. Francis L. Ills, noted pediatrician and specialist in child development, tells us what can and should happen before our child reaches the age of 2. Our program today is a dramatic adaptation of that article, one in the study course series of the precious preschool years. And now, here is our narrator.
Bill Henry's young son, Jimmy, is almost 2 years old. But 2 years of fatherhood haven't even put a dent in Bill's parental pride. In fact, when he met a family friend on the street yesterday, he was fairly bursting with excitement.
But just wait till you see Jimmy, Art. Why, the kid's amazing. I went into his room to see him this morning, and there he was, piling blocks like a veteran. Why, he had a tower of 8, as solid as anything, and he's not even 2 years old.
Yes, Bill never will cease being surprised by the latest exploits of his young son. But Bill knows, too, that Jimmy's early physical and emotional development are not merely the product of whatever sparks of genius the 2-year-old possesses. They are the result of many wise decisions made by Bill himself and his wife, Doris. Before Jimmy was born, Bill and Doris had prepared themselves for the responsibilities of parenthood. And they discovered in the course of their study that most parents are inclined to let their own pleasure and satisfaction be their guide in the early care of their child. Bill and Doris, however, agreed with the modern idea that the child is the most important consideration. And they found it only natural to believe that what is best for the child often coincides with what is best for the mother. Soon after Jimmy was born, Doris found that things had changed considerable in regard to the hospital care of mothers and their new babies. Jimmy was not only brought to her at feeding time, but she was allowed to keep him with her for rather long periods during the day. Her doctor explained to her that this hospital was far ahead of most institutions in that respect. Those in charge realized that from the very start, the baby needs the closeness and loving care of its mother, just as the mother needs the closeness of her baby. When a mother and her new baby are separated for most of the day, the mother may very easily begin to wonder whether her baby is indeed a reality, whether he really belongs to her and not to the doctor or the hospital or the nurse who presides over the nursery down the corridor. Doris and Bill both knew that caring for little Jimmy would require continued watchfulness. And Bill knew, too,
I won't have much time to go to the beach this summer. I'll have a full-time job just being Jimmy's mother.
Oh, Mrs. Henry, aren't you going to have anyone to help you with Jimmy?
I guess not, Joan. Bill thought I should, but it is so hard to find anyone. And I can't ask Mother to come way out here just now.
Would you like someone? Someone to help you, I mean?
I certainly would. Of course, the nurse is to be with me for 2 weeks. But after that, I don't know what I will do.
Mrs. Henry, I could help.
That's very nice of you, dear. But what I really wanted was someone who would take care of Jimmy just for me. Someone who had really been trained to take care of small babies.
That's just it. I have been trained, Mrs. Henry. I know all about taking care of babies.
You do? Why, where did you learn all that?
At high school. It was an extra course last year, but this year Mr. James says they're going to give credit for it.
Course? Do you mean that you've had a course in child care, Joan?
Yes, Mrs. Henry, and one of the nurses from the hospital, Miss Tucker, taught us, so I'm sure I know the right things.
Why, Joan, that's wonderful. I'll talk to Bill about it.